Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video we're going to take a look at Dachsbun. This Pokemon got recently released, and also, if you didn't know, you can actually XL this Pokemon, which I can't because I didn't get enough, because I was sick and was traveling, so didn't really get enough of those boys caught. But I think if you actually played the event for quite a bit more than I did, you would be able to actually get quite a lot of them. And here this player was able to get a fully XL one, I think, at this point, with 2365 CP, but it's still one of the best Charmers just based on the moveset and based on the book that it still has. So today we're going to take a look at some battles that got of course sent to me here with the Dachsbun, which I'm kind of interested in for the Open Ultra League. This Pokemon should be very, very solid. I'm actually going to put up a quick DP poke shot on the side real quick for myself to see on where it is ranked. I know it's ranked 30, I think, on the Great League chart, which is the best Charmer as well for the Great League. If I'm going to take a look at any kind of Charmer for the Open Ultra League, it is the best Charm user. The best Fairy type is Clefable apparently here, but Dachsbun is going to be at 84 as the best Charm user for this meta, which is something that you definitely should try to get. As you're going to see here, I don't think Goodroid really enjoys Fairy type Pokemon, so the first battle is going to be over quite fast. And so we can move on to Solgaleo. That is not really what I expected here today. I have no idea, by the way, about the gameplay. I didn't see a single bit of it. And so Solgaleo is not something I would have expected to see here today. But it's definitely going to be very beneficial for that Gaston here. Gaston is going to easily be able to take any kind of hit. And you can just go for the full farm down. And you can even swap out if you want to. Earth Power is coming through here. It's going to be the Swampert against you in the back. That's totally fine for you. Earth Power is going to do some solid damage. Or get the shield. We can see another Earth Power coming through. And it all depends if you want to swap out or not. Swapping out is maybe the better play, I would say so as well. Unless they're going to have a Steel type Pokemon in the back, that's definitely the better play. Because you don't really have a play against Swampert with your Wheezing, of course, as the Poison typing is going to be quite tough. And having Overheat as a secondary charge move doesn't really give you a lot of firepower. But we're going to see here already that they're going to have in the back here the Skeledirge, which is going to be also a pretty bad matchup. You might still be able to... Oh, we see the opponent going for a charge move. That's actually really good for you, because now you could go even back into your... Oh, you actually go into the Wheezing trying to go for the Brutal Swing here. That's interesting. Could have seen also a play here where you could have just went into your Gastrodon. But I guess in this case, you rather sacrifice your Gastrodon here, which is also fine. Keep that shield for the Wheezing, and you go for the Overheat here. I'm fairly certain it is not going to be enough to knock out the opponent. And so it's down to you being able to go for the full farm now, which you should be able to do. I think the extra fast move should be enough to knock them out. But, oh, it actually needed one more. But now definitely a Brutal Swing is going to be enough. Even goes for one extra fast move, which you didn't really need to. But it is what it is. A good game there. We can move on to the next opponent. Another legendary Pokemon here, in this case, the Giratina, is a little bit more commonly seen. We see that you're using Dachsbun as a safe swap. That's kind of interesting. I actually would have thought that you would have used the Wheezing as a safe swap. Wheezing, I feel like, is a bit safer, just generally speaking. Here, of course, having a Scissor against your Dachsbun is not really what you would expect. But, yeah, we're gonna see a move coming through, Night Slash coming through, they don't get the boost, which is quite handy, and you can go back into your Gaston. But you actually have to be a bit careful, because they could have access to Trailblaze, but they decided to go for Night Slash anyway, and so it's kind of okay for you. Trailblaze would be double super effective, and is also the standard moveset on Scissor as far as I know. So, yeah, quite a bit lucky, I would say, but as we will see as well, Giratina comes back in. You could have most days swapped out a little bit earlier already. But Ancient Power is definitely fine one here. Ancient Power doesn't really make too much sense, but it is definitely okay. We're gonna see the swap out straight away into the Wheezing. Ancient Power definitely was a bit of a weird one there, but Brutal Swing is coming through. We're gonna get the KO, and in the back it's going to be Togekiss. That's actually going to be a bit of a tricky one, because I guess you have to go for... I would have went for baits here. I would have just went straight for the Brutal Swing bait, because they have 2 shields left, and I would have definitely lost the battle then. That's great. Good job, me. I mean, I guess at the end of the day, it was the right play what they did here, because Charm doesn't really do damage. Okay, at this point, you could have just went for the Brutal Swing spam. The opponent is so low, it doesn't really matter if you're debuffed or not. It literally doesn't really matter. But yeah, this is going to be a good game. You can just farm them down or something. It doesn't... they cannot do anything. They literally cannot do anything, even if they're going to get a boost here, which they don't. This is going to be a good game. Next opponent, let's see who we're going to have. Next is going to be a Cresselia. That is not ideal, because Cresselia can have access to the move Grass Knot. It is not as common anymore as it was back in the day. I see quite a lot of Future Sight plus a Moonblast Cresselia, so it is like not a given anymore. Even though I feel like still that Gaston is the best coverage move on this Pokemon, also in the Ultra League. But yeah, we're gonna see here, getting out the Venusaur would have been better for your other Pokemon, for your Wheezing, I guess, because you have A, Overheat, and B, you're just going to be able to resist the Grass type damage. So again, I feel like it is not ideal to have Dachsbun as your Say-Stop. I would say that the best way of playing this team would have been to use your Wheezing as a Say-Stop and have Dachsbun in the back to try to kind of close out battles with having some charm pressure. But in comes here now the Muk, which is going to be okay. The opponent's going to be forced to go for a Sludge Wave, I guess. And you might be able to catch the move as well, and you decide to catch the move. Is it a Sludge Wave or not? Let's find out. It is going to be a Sludge Wave, barely doing any damage because it's resisted, and now it depends on if they're going to have Grass Knot or not. They decide to go ahead and go for the Grass Knot, which makes it a bit more awkward. But it doesn't mean that the game is over yet, because you still have super effective coverage here with the Wheezing, and we see that you need 3 more. Yeah, it's going to be game over. Like, there's not really anything that you can do here. I'm fairly certain it's going to be a loss for you, sadly. Unless there is something weird going on here as well, and you might be able to knock them out after the charge move straight away. But I don't, it doesn't look even close. And they decide to just let the move go through and move on to the next opponent. Greninja. Again, like, it's actually going to be a very solid matchup for you to just get a shield advantage, because you definitely guaranteed win the 0 shield scenario here. You can just go for the Earth Power, don't even have to bait or anything like this, but they decide to go ahead and let the move go through. And did you even get the shields up there? I didn't even see the selection there that if you want to use a shield or not. But anyway, we'll see the swap out straight away into the Cresselia. Would have been maybe a bit more ideal to have the Wheezing there, because they are super effective coverage. But it's still going to be an okay matchup. By the way, I don't actually think that Body Slam is the best way to go for Dachsbun. I think it is better to have Player Up for situations like this as well. Body Slam just doesn't really do the damage anymore. Like, that's the thing as well. Like, Body Slam is so far away from its former glory that you don't really need to have it anymore like this. But as you see here, Body Slam spam is gonna happen. We're gonna see that they're gonna go ahead and stay in here as well. And Greninja comes back in, just wanting to take some hard-hitting hits there, I guess, and you can swap into your Gastrodon. You let the move go through, and you can go for the full farm run, I guess. Hydro Cannon is coming through, gonna do some solid damage. You still survive. Let's see who is coming in to try to take an Earth Power. It is going to be Cresselia again. Earth Power should be enough to knock them out, I think, from this range. Or maybe they use a shield here. They decide to use it. Or Body Slam would have been enough, to be fair. But yeah, as we'll see here, Grass not going to knock us out. We're going to have still the Wheezing with a shield advantage. And we will have here the Grass not coming through again, which is a great call. And Registeel has to now take 2 overheats, which I feel like is going to be something that you should be able to win here. So this should be a good game. Overheat 1 is going to do a lot of damage. Overheat 2 should hopefully be enough to knock them out. Unless they're going to get a debuff here with a Zap Cannon, this could be a bit of a problem. They don't get the debuff, so that's going to be a bit easier now. Going for that overheat, this should still knock them out now. Hopefully, after the debuff, it is enough. And now 1 Brutal Sting would be enough, or another overheat just for the fun. And so we can move on to the next opponent. Next opponent coming through. Let's see who we're going to have. Venusaur. Now you kind of want to swap out into your Dachsbun, I would assume, but they decide to stay in here, which is interesting. We see a shield coming up. Like, you're never going to be able to realign yourself here. It's a bad matchup. It's just clearly just a bad matchup. Body Slam is coming through. It's going to try to bait out a shield from the opponent, which works out. You can go for another one. You could maybe even run for another fast move first. But this Body Slam is going to just get them a little bit low. You just sacrifice a Gaston, I guess, here, and go into your Wheezing, which can take those hard-hitting Frenzy Plants. And the opponent decides to have a little bit of a nap until now they decide to go back and do actually some battle here as well. We have the overheat coming through. We're going to get the knockout, and you swap out straight away, and they swap out straight away. That's actually good for you, because it would have been more annoying to have to deal with the Typhlosion there. But it's actually a very solid matchup for you, because it's still mainly doing Dragon type damage. And this move is actually even super effective now. At this point, you really want to just fully farm them down. You're going to have a little bit of a nap there again for whatever reason. But you should be able to reach that Psychic Fax in time. And this is going to be very nice, because now all of a sudden, you do more pressure with both of your Pokemon. And the attack, the defense drop here is going to be very, very nice. We see here the Thunder Punch coming through. Surprisingly, it's enough to knock you out. And we have a little bit of a nap again from the opponent's Pokemon. And that definitely going to help you out quite a bit, that the opponent has all of those nap in there, because he can just go for the full farm down, and this is going to be it for this game. Yeah, I feel like the Wolf been a little bit of a trickier matchup if the opponent didn't have those naps in there. But anyway, let's move on to the next opponent. We're going to have Ursaring here, which is a bit of a rare Pokemon. It is actually a very solid Pokemon, having access to Swift and Close Combat, and Trailblaze in theory is kind of nice in the current meta, but as you'll see as well, we're going to see a shield coming up. It's going to be the Swift coming up again. And we have the full farm down here, which is still not working out. You have to use another shield. I would have imagined it would have been better to use your own charge move in time, instead of going 2 shields down and having no alignment. But like a Pokemon here especially that does not really have great play against the Pokemon that swapped in. And so, yeah, Psychic Fangs. Oh, we're going to see the JPK in here now. You still have, I guess you go into your Mud Slapper for sure, but it's going to be definitely a little bit of a difficult matchup here to still win. But let's see how this is going to go. It's going to be very interesting. You have to kind of keep some energy here for the Talonflame later on. This is going to be okay. We see, the defense drop here. One fast move, one body slam is the way to go here for sure. You can just literally spam body slam the entire time. And the opponent still has 2 shields left, which is going to be a bit interesting, because you still have to kind of hit so many hits against the opponent, but they completely misplay this. Like, they should have had already a charge move here, I would assume. But like this, yeah, they're going to be able to go up to 100 energy, but I still feel like you could have went for the catch there. 2 fast moves, then swap out, would have been kind of an easy catch. Flame charge it is, and okay, this time around you catch. That's totally fine. I guess you're going to try to go for another overheat here to try to knock out the opponent. Flies coming through, and overheat is coming through as well. This is going to be it for this battle, and we can move on to the next opponent. So, let's see what they're going to run. We're going to have Gaston against Feraligatr. That is going to be an interesting one for sure. We will see here as well that you are going to use no shield. It is not the Shadow Feraligatr. You can take a Hydro Cannon, close to even 2. And you're gonna go for the bait here again, not going for the Earth Power, just going for the Body Slam spam. It's still neutral, and it's still gonna get the shield, so that was a very smart play, because now you can still get another shield or the KO against the opponent, which is going to be so handy here. So you're gonna overfarm by quite a bit and go for another bait here. This is very risky, doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, and now you can completely realign yourself, which is amazing for you. So another body slam would be enough here, and you decide to go for the body slam as well, which is going to be great, because now you have a ton of energy, you have alignment, and you have a Typhlosion, which is just going to go down straight away, I would assume, because an Earth Power is going to land straight in its face. And so yeah, one more fast move would go down, and oh, look at this Ampharos in the back as well. They are quite weak to ground type Pokemon, I would say here, but as you will see as well, it's going to be Wheezing now. Wheezing can usually take any kind of hit unless I run a Power Gem, and I guess any electric type move. Forgot about those. But yeah, the opponent decides to forfeit, and we can move on to the next opponent. It's going to be Primape here. You have 2 good answers, and this time around you actually use a Wheezing as a say-sub and go straight for the overheat, not even messing around at all. I like this play because it's going to give you a guaranteed advantage, and at this point you rather most likely... Oh, actually let the move go through. You should be able to survive a Wild Charge though, so I do actually agree with this play. And now you're going to see the... Overheat here is coming out again. Like, it is literally the favorite move of this player for sure. Let's see, we're gonna have the Gaston coming back in here again. Gaston just is gonna do some very solid neutral damage with Mud Slap, with Body Slam, with potentially Earth Power, which is not needed in this kind of point here. Body Slam is the better way to go. And you could even rely on your Dachsbun if you wanted to, but it's going to be a bit risky if you would do that. You decide to rely on your Dachsbun, so let's see how this is going to go. Dachsbun is going to have access to the Psychic Fangs anyway, so I guess it is going to be the best play, because now you have some energy advantage, and Psychic Fangs is going to make any matchup way better. Of course, I forgot about the Primape in the back. Good game here, nothing the opponent can do here at all anymore. We see the Psychic Fangs coming through soon as well, or we just see the full farm down, both of which are totally fine. We see the shield, and this is going to be it for this one, just farming down both of the opponent's final Pokemon, and we can go also into the final battle for today. Dachsbun definitely is a very solid Pokemon, I have to say, after looking at the gameplay here. But what I also want to say here is I don't feel like it is as strong as it looked like in the Open Great League. I feel like Open Great League is more where this Pokemon is going to shine. But if you can build it for the Open Ultra League, I do think it's still definitely worth it. But of course, it's a bit more of a grind to get this Pokemon, especially now where the event is over. Like, I haven't seen a single one anywhere nearby. So, yeah, wonder where and how you're gonna get Dachsbun consistently then. Hopefully in the new event as well eventually. But anyway, you're gonna see here the Skeledirge, we're gonna have the full farm run happening, and we're gonna have also the Abomasnow coming back in, where we decided to stay in and go for some Body Slam spam, which is not really that smart, I have to say, because one overheat is always going to be enough to knock out the opponent there. I go for the Weather Ball and swap out into the Ampharos. What do you decide to go for? You decide to go for a shield here most likely, because if it's a Thunder Punch, it's going to be very, very difficult. It's going to be the Brutal Swing, which is a bit annoying, but we have now the hard-hitting Overheat connecting. That is so important for you that you were able to connect this move. And we will see here the shield coming up against the Brutal Swing again. It is a resistant move, but it's still kind of needed. And also in comes again the Abomasnow, but yeah, let's see. They very likely going to use a shield here now. We're going to see the swap out. We have Body Slam spam, but I highly doubt that they're still going to have a chance here against the Abomasnow. Like, oh wait, they use a shield though. Using a shield here is definitely a mistake, but still, like, if everything runs normal, I'm very certain the opponent should be able to outspeed you, and they can. And that's going to be it for this video. With a loss, we're going to edit it here today. Thanks so much for staying in the battles. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I will see you then. Bye-bye.